lenders.
Yeah. Patty said she's going to ORB Summit.
Oh, yeah, that's, she mistyped.
Oh,
It's ORT, Old Republic Title.
yeah, today.
I was like, ORB.
I think a bunch of the agents are there.
They are, Cliff's is there, Jen's there.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me tell these girls out here, because we want to be cognizant of Craig's time. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Did you spill it?
What's your Texas Tech?
Y'all are having coffee problems. All right, guys. Well, today, thank you for joining us. Number one, thank you for joining me for this morning. Craig Cheyne from AgTrust Farm Credit is here. Craig, I just closed a deal yesterday, actually, and so I can speak personally to his expertise and communication skills. So, Craig, the floor is yours at this point.
Okay. And here's.
Yeah, you're good because you're on super video right there. You're perfect.
Okay, yeah, I'm Craig Cheyne. I'm with AgTrust Farm Credit. Pardon the frog. I don't know what hit me last week, but my voice is kind of scratchy. So we are what used to be referred to as the old Federal Land Bank. A lot of folks may have grandparents and had farms as kids, and they would refer to paying their bank as the land bank. That's who we are. 120 years ago, the federal government started the federal land bank system, and they put a land bank in every county in America. And back then, we were 50% farmer. America was, and now we're not. So we still, and the rules are pretty simple. You guys can become a tax-free enterprise, do ag loans only, no deposits, just do ag loans. So lots changed in 120 years. There's less farmers than ever, and but we still get to exist. We're just kind of, I guess you could say, smaller in that, like I cover, 3 counties, and we have, my institution is $3.1 billion, and we run from Austin to Oklahoma, all to Mexico, east towards Arkansas, Louisiana border. I can lend in, as long as you live in that territory and you're buying land anywhere in the country, I can give you a loan. It's great if you live in that giant territory and you're buying land in that giant territory. But as I was saying, the genesis is still the same. We do farm and ranch loans for farmers and ranchers, but that term has changed significantly. So it can be 1 acre in the country, as long as it's rural in the country. But yeah, I love, you mentioned earlier, you asked me about, can we do 100 acres or more? Like, yes, that's my desire, is to do larger tracts of land. People typically come to us because we have very favorable rates and terms. We're able to do so. I think I'm gonna go there. It's just acting for 30 years on the amortization, which used to be really, really hard to find for land deals. As of now, our minimum down payment is 15%. We like credit scores, kind of 680 or greater type of range. Your loan stays in-house with me forever. So some clients will come and never lose to 30 years. And that's important because of our rate options. Whenever I send an email to my clients, say, you're approved, here are your rate options. It's unlike, say, a mortgage person. I'm not going to give you the 30-year fix and the 15-year fix. I'm going to give you your AM with a 1-year fix, 2-year fix, 3-year fix, 4-year fix, 5-year fix. I'm done with 30. And so I can fix it for all 30 years. That, of course, is my highest rate. Logically, the longer you fix that rate for, the higher it's going to be. Most people are going to choose something probably in the, as of today, a shorter term range, like 3, 4, 5. I would say my rates are going to go from like 7% to 8%. And so if you do a 1-year fixed rate, that might be 7%. Whereas at 30, you might be 8%. It's 1% difference. Being as you're not going to stay with me for 30 years, I would not recommend you do it for 30 years. But I think, especially my generation and younger, like they only know it's that 30-year fix. And I can tell you, after being there for 14 years, I think I'm that one person who actually made it 30 years with installments. And that was 150 acres ranch to be farmed. And so most people are choosing like a 3, 4, 5. That rate's a little bit lower. It's 671, 72, 73 as of today. But because I don't sell these loans, you're about to refinance with me and reprice with me, which just means that I just change the rate. And so if we're, say, a 30-year AM, 3-year fixed rate at 7.3, and then a year from now rates plummet back to the threes again. Like you don't have to wait until your 2 years is up. You can simply just call and say, hey, her rate's for the threes. I want it. Okay, so I just give you $500. What it costs to reprice. I change your rate from 7.3 to the 3. You still have over 29 years to go, but I was able to change your rate. The refinance is drastically different where you got to buy a time policy and appraisal and the underwriting. So that's a perk of owning these loan files. Something very, very, very unique about us is that we're cooperative. So every customer I have is also a stockholder. At closing, you're going to buy stock in the bank. It's $1,000. It's not a fee to deposit. You get it back when the loan's paid off. While you own it, you get to receive dividends. To use even math, we made about 50 million last year, and we paid back 27 to the members. Well, how much of that did you get? Well, it's a complicated formula, but let's just say it's probably about 1%, give or take, of what you owed me for the year. So if you owed $1 million for the year, that was a check you would get for $10,000. That's usually going to cover, 1.5 payments. Also remind people, if your rate is 7.3, back if you back at 1, and your net rate is 6.3. And so and people are really excited about rates right now, you probably know. And so I would say kind of the common number that gets thrown out today for conventional mortgages is in that 7% range. And so people are really excited when they find out that I'm higher than 7. And as a salesman, I try to tell them, look, there's more to this. You should get 1% back. Only do it's a little bit less than 7. And having said that, please know I don't compete with mortgage companies.
Right.
I prefer land only if I can get it. But this day and age, this territory, most tracts have some type of structure on it. And so I would like the land to be worth more than the home. And if you ever try to get a mortgage on a place where the house is worth less than the land, it's pretty challenging. You have to really shop around to find something. In about 13 years, it has evolved. At one time, they wouldn't touch it that had an ag exemption or had more than 10 acres. And that's evolving. So none of that stuff exists out there. Just know that mine is really simple. If the land's worth more than the home, I can do it. And if it's less than, really probably shouldn't. That's probably more of a consumer type of loan. And so they can do that. I would say that, the bulk of my deals, so they're not giant ranches like you might presume, like I thought when I signed up for this job 13 years ago.
Giant sections.
Yeah, or pure cowboys. It's just kind of folks that want to live in the country someday. And so it might be 10 acres, and they probably don't have an immediate plan to move out there. They probably have plans to someday build a house. Then you have kids still in high school you want to finish before you go out there. And so it's a good place to park your land loan, while you're working on getting the kids through school and maybe selling your house in town. There is a significant amount of work that's done to build a house in the country. It's absolutely unlike a deer Horton home. It's got to have all kinds of permits for septic and building permits. And you have a well, you have county water. And so a lot of folks, I tell them this is cute, you want to buy this place now and sell your house now and build a house tomorrow, but I'll see you in 2 years. And I can do construction loans. It just goes back to what I said at the start, where I prefer when the house is finished, we're still in a land heavy product. Otherwise, I'm dealing with all of the anxiety and drama with the inability the next 6 to 9 months for you to pay me off as soon as you get the house finished with mortgage. And I understand that happens a lot, but I generally prefer to just do land loans or construction if it's a land heavy property.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Speaking of this, what if you were, one property we like, like 157 acres, right? Obviously most of the value is in the land.
Yeah.
So there is like a bunkhouse, an old farmhouse that was probably built, I'm guessing early 1900s, decent shape, but obviously probably needs some sort of updating, 1, to satisfy lender requirements, and 2, just, be more usable, friendly. That's pretty sure it's haunted. Even freaking me out trying to go back in there and close it. I'm like running down the hall as fast as I can.
Yeah.
But anyways, is there anything that like, because this property has been on the market 927 days. Okay, so like, yeah, I'm telling you. But like, and the listing agent has said like, hey, just make us an offer. She's a widow. She needs rid of this 157 acres, probably for, other costs. But like if we got it way undervalued, can you build in those costs to make renovations on the property? You can make product that does that.
It all goes back to that loan to value. And so I need 15% down.
Okay. So like if the property was listed like at 769 and you offered them like 600, let's say we agreed. And we could, and the appraisal obviously came in where we're in a positive equity situation. We could use some of that to pour back into the property.
There's some ethics involved there. I would say at origination, I can lend you 85% of the lesser of the two contract for sales price. So if the appraisal for 750, you buy for 600, I can lend you 510, 85% 600. So if you, again, so tomorrow you start getting all your buildings lined up and all your amazing decorators, you have so much capacity to drive to banks to do this. You come back to me and say, I'd like to put, I'll put $1,000 in that house. So what I do is I hire another appraisal, and he's going to do an as finished value. So he's going to reappraise the land. He's going to reappraise the house as finished.
Okay.
And now you're on to those kind of increase. So there is some margin there to borrow from. The ethics part is like, are you borrowing money on this kind of things on appreciation?
Right.
That's where things get in big time trouble.
Right. No. I
And so
understand
I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You can't help it. So I think there's margin there, but it's not as simple as probably something in town where.
Right. Well, no. Yeah, knew that. I just knew that the way this listing agent talks, they're probably going to sell it way undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like there would be, like some playroom that you can.
Yeah. I kind of think that I can appraise probably can do land only.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's just not much value in the house. So if there's some barns and whatnot, there's some value there, I'm sure. But like, I would say, so whenever you do come back and say, I'd like to pitch up the house, like there's some new equity there. The first time.
Right. Okay. Cool.
What does AgTrust ACA stand for? ACA?
They changed their name. It's a credit, Agricultural Credit Association.
Okay.
So at one time, this is really nerd stuff, but you want to know. There used to be two kind of divisions of farm credit. There was the land side, we call it FLICA, and there was the production side, production credit, which would be cattle, T&C fertilizer equipment. Those have kind of, now both of us can do land and pure ag. So I did cattle ones too, and that kind of stuff, equipment. So ACA is kind of all encompassing land side, production side.
So you do cattle loans too? Yeah. So like somebody can go buy a herd and you'll finance it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So this is a guy that I felt like we needed in our pocket because this is.
So if they want to build a hobby farm, you got them.
I love that. Yeah. I'm a hobby farmer myself, so I'm good at, that's kind of my niche, is talking to people about horses and cattle and goats and sheep and all that kind of stuff. And I think this territory is, lots of folks during COVID especially moved out to the country and bought their 20 acres and learned about building a house in the country. They want to put that up there. So I need tractors, I need side by sides. That's kind of probably our, maybe as this bank grows, we're going to kind of shift towards being your one-time and only shop for all of your assets on that property.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I figured this was somebody that we all needed to have in our database.
Yeah.
Because we're running these people
Perfect.
and we're all calling each other going, who do you know? And we're like,
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. Well, now we know somebody.
Yeah, for sure. And so many people are trying to live off of the grid, and where we live in Parker County, people are moving out west, and I have people all the time that just want to add 5 acres to the already thing that they already have, but they don't have the cash. So
I feel
like that.
I feel like the natural migration pattern of like Parker and Palo Pinto is going to be west central Texas. Like they're going to go out there towards Bend and Coleman and Brownwood and all that.
Yeah. So can we, if we have land to advertise, can we like partner with you to get like a flyer that we can say, hey, we've got a way to finance this land, please buy it.
Yeah, no, I have signs. I can give you, I can deliver it.
Well, even digitally, like digitally market.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I did, for instance, up there, marketing department here, our headquarters is here before. And, they have to bless it first and then, but I
Okay.
wouldn't hurt them say no or anything.
Did you say your last name is Cheyne?
Chaining,
Cheyne.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, it's not spelled right, is it?
Oh, it's fine. It's just, the NE has got a little more power to it than I thought it did. Okay. Well, Craig, thank you so much for breakfast.
Yeah.
Number one, thank you for coming to visit us and thank you for being a partner with us.
Hey, it's a pleasure. That was an
Thank you
awesome
so
place.
much. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
We have some cheesy little gifts over here. Sorry, we were marketing our branch offices out of stuff, so I had to think of something. for
No,
today.
this is great. I have to drive all around DFW today, so that will be my lunch.
You got plenty of protein. I know,
Yeah.
that's what I
Hey,
like.
thank you so much, Chris. It was nice to put a name in the face and thank you for closing my loan so efficiently. I appreciate it. So we bought,
Yeah, thank
we
you.
bought the house with the land was listed 25 acres for 900. We bought it for 375.
Oh, yeah, they told us about that. Yeah.
How'd you feel that?
Yeah.
They've been on the market a year.
Where at?
So you feel like I can get a better deal on this now than 27 days?
I think 375 is the right price.
It was.
I thought I got like
900 was great.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
But-
Damn.
but it praised for that. I mean, it came in and he got it done.
And I think if I could toot my horn.
Yeah.
I'm not doing like
Yeah,
that, this person was from Fort Worth and didn't have experience living rurally. And she just said, straight up, I'm gonna build a house and 3 for my kids. There's a lot to this. And so I remember I called the city for her and called the county for her and gave her some names, like, these are the folks you gotta call first. And don't just start building a house out there. So it probably slowed down the contract process, but truly, I don't want to have a landlord with a person that comes to me a year later and says, we're gonna build 4 houses.
Yeah.
And me tell her, well, it's not that simple. And so, she's got a plan and a strategy now. Once she got it all kind of figured out in her head, like then she had an offer and the rest is history, so.
And he did it on time.
Cool.
It was on time. And I love their process. Every time I sent him an email, he responded. Can't ask for better than that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't need any. You're busy making us coffee. Thank you.
All right. So our 6F core value today is we relentlessly pursue simplicity and clarity by managing expectations well. Being clear is kind. We believe we serve our clients well when we remove confusion and keep the process simple and stress-free. Stress, tension, and conflict is often avoided by simply managing expectations. Our clients should never be caught wondering what is going to happen next. We are clear and honest with our team and clients and are not afraid to be open about bad news or have hard conversations. Additionally, we encourage our team to internally pursue simplicity and clarity so they focus on the right priorities and goals. The reason that I pulled this core value is because of what Craig and I went through. It was a very simple process because we were clear with each other. And I don't know if you guys have run into that recently, but yesterday I went to a house with a listing appointment, a showing appointment, and couldn't get in because somebody had locked the door on their way out and the agent was non-responsive. So my clients drove an hour to go see a house that we couldn't get into. So that's why I pulled this one, because it was bothering me so bad last night when I'm leaving feedback of you suck. I did not erase. So anyway,
I feel like we should be more honest.
absolutely. Okay, announcements. Next week, I've got Tammy Hindman and Integrity Title coming, and then we have a special guest. We have lots of special guests coming, actually. Ashley Christian is going to come join us at 10:20, and she's going to help us build a Google business profile. So if you don't have a Google business profile, next Wednesday at 10:20 will be your time. Yes.
So you're gonna do mine since I'm gone?
Same. They're gonna be in Mexico,
Watch
so
the
don't
video.
feel too
I
sorry.
know
for
I
them.
am just done like
I
that.
am, but all
Yeah.
I'm saying is if we can't get on it, I mean, if we can't get the internet and it does well, can you help us when we get back?
No.
That's what you're here for.
Okay, I have a question real quick on the business profile. Do y'all already have this?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I was gonna say.
A
These can't
business
just be done.
profile,
These can't just be done. They have to be, you have to have
yeah,
it.
an address, right?
Well, you have to have an address, but it has to be,
It
authenticated.
does. So
Before
do
you
you,
can
my
mess it.
problem. I can't
Right.
get my.
So
So
you
what are
are
y'all
not
doing for
authenticated?
your
Well,
address?
I'm not the person. I'm not.
So
Yeah,
I want an
she'll be here
address
next
in Parker
Wednesday.
County.
Ashley is amazing. She's a good friend of mine. She helped Gape Real Estate in Decatur get their whole brokerage up and running.
So
And,
she
like,
will contact, let us call her.
So I'm
I'm sure
planning
she
on
will.
being,
Okay,
So-
but what I want you to ask,
Are you gonna be on there?
no, if we can't get on there, because we're drunk or something, I don't know.
Wednesday.
Noon over there. Oh, no, it's actually 8 a.m.
yeah.
Okay, because we're on the East Coast. Okay, if I can't get on though, the question I need to know the answer to, and I've never been able to figure out on my own, can I please just pick some random address in Parker County?
No.
Can I pick a WeWork space? Can I pick like Cultivate and pick up the mail from them and set
No.
it up my,
You could probably, you can do a
because that's
PO
the
box.
problem.
You can do a PO box, but not for Google, not for Google.
Not for Google, you can't.
Did you have
You just put your home
I
address?
don't want
You just
my
put it-
home address.
you
to
just
be
put it
on
here.
there.
No, but
That's
we'll
not
know
that
the
easy.
watch the bottom.
That's not, I can't, because I won't be able to find me in Parker County, not find me
I
here.
remember that, I think I asked you when I was.
I don't want.
We'll-
to
we'll
do
pay-
that
you know
in a
what?
5 mile radius of
Next
here.
Wednesday, we'll be
Find
talking
me.
Actually,
I
that's
want
my
people on a
issue
5 mile
with
radius up there to find me.
So we'll
That
talk-
is the problem.
Next Wednesday,
I think
Ashley will be here.
We should have a
Um,
Parker County.
So
Yours is like
Rachel
that.
is
Well, I
working,
think when I signed up, it's giving me
Rachel is working on your 1099s. She is expecting to get those out by Thursday or Friday. So it is what it is. So it's coming. Jimmy is working on a reach out email campaign along with Kristen. So they're working on that currently. The Star Telegram phase nominations link will be in the follow-up in the brokerage announcements.
Yeah.
Conversation.
So, but for you to go and nominate somebody for the Fort Worth phase, you can nominate each other. So that link will be in the stuff today. On February the 12th, Reach Out will join us at 10:15, and they will be doing a training during Mastermind. They have some new things that they've got coming out on February the 12th. February the 19th, I've got several things going. Jamie Ice is going to come in and do AI. He's using a new type of AI that he wants to show you how to use. And so Jamie will be here on the 19th. That afternoon, we're doing spring headshots at the Lumen Room on College Avenue. I will be putting that link to sign up for a slot. It'll be 10 minutes for you to sign up. We only have 2 hours. That's all we're paying for. So there'll be 12 slots total. So if you want to get new headshots, updated headshots, the 19th will be from 1 to 3 on February 19th. And then, Jimmy, did you want to hit the Google reviews again? Did I put it on here?
No, we're gonna do that training,
Good. Well, that's Google business profile next week.
Yeah, next
So
week.
you can tie in the Google reviews. too.
So,
Yeah, we
So-
can,
okay,
we're gonna talk a lot about that next week.
Okay.
If you can hear the next 3 or 4 weeks, if you just implemented everything we're gonna teach the next 4 weeks. So think about this, in the next 4 weeks, you could get a Google review for you personally up next week. Like that will really help SEO, but it'll just help your credibility. Then the next time is using AI. And then we're going to do the week after that, the 20, whatever that is, 26, 26. Yeah. 26th, the week after that, we're going to set up all the emails for your customer base. And so just in the next 4 weeks, you can, I don't know what the AI stuff is, I'm not part of that, but I'm assuming it'll be more efficient. But you would have a drip campaign and you would have a Google review all set up, like literally just by showing up. And so I'm like really excited. Like most businesses don't have that, so for you to have that, it's just really, really cool. So
cool. Okay. Let me go back here. All right. So, I also want to remind you about the buyer's checklist and the listing checklist. Those were attached to Monday night's email. If you do that at the bottom of the email, they are attached there for you. That way you can download them and print them out should you choose to. Let's talk about the market update. I wish this was bigger. I'm not sure why Google is doing this to me right now as far as this look. But anyway, existing home sales finished the year up 2.2% in December, up 9.3% for the year. That's the fastest annual increase since 21, which is pandemic. Third straight month of yearly gains, inventory higher than the same time a year ago. Realtor.com reported last week they saw a pickup in new listings. Prices fell annually by the largest margin in the data's history for 4 of the last 4 weeks, setting buyers up for a more friendly market. So again, this is the time for buyers to be buying. If they're going to buy, this is your best opportunity. An estimated 1.628 million new housing units were completed in 24, up more than 12% over 2023. Title firm First American called this good news for a housing market that has been underbuilt for a decade. So that's really good news there. Review from last week, major stock indexes gained 2 weeks in a row. President Trump's comments on interest rates, oil prices, regulations, taxes, and hints at a softer stance on China tariffs lifted investor sentiment. Of course, then we had the new DeepSeek coming out of China, which is the new AI, and it crashed the market Monday. Michael, my finance guy, I texted him yesterday and said, hey, we lost a lot of money yesterday. He said, it's good for the market. We need 3 more of these this year to set us up for the year properly.
Yeah.
So he said, it's a good thing that we did. And I gained half of what I lost Monday. I gained it back yesterday. So things are okay. Yes, we took a big hit, but it was mainly just NVIDIA that got hit, if you were watching the stock. Trader spirits also elevated by a strong start to Q4 corporate earnings season. Not all was copacetic economically, as continued jobless claims rose to their highest level in more than 3 years. Consumer sentiment also came in weaker than expected. We did get that better than expected December existing home sales report, plus S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing finally landed in expansion territory. These are good things. I know they're spherical, we call it, up in the atmosphere, but these are all good things for us. New and pending home sales, home prices, inflation, and the Fed. Housing experts are forecasting December gains for both new home sales and pending home sales. Index of signed contracts on existing homes. November's Case-Shiller Home Price Index should report no yearly gain. Economists expect December PCE prices to show the annual inflation rate steady, though not diminishing. Virtually no one thinks the Fed rate decision will move rates, but there was much interest in Chairman Powell's presser after the announcement. But of course, we're going to look at what the Federal Reserve is what they're doing. I know the little one down there in the middle, that's something that I thought was very interesting that I usually don't show. It's the probability of change from the current policy. They're predicting May, 50% of the people think that there might be a change. We said I'd make that bigger for you all. I don't know that I can, but I'm going to try.
It's okay. I can look at it in Slack later.
Yeah, you can. It's not doing anything here. So I tried. So they think that we might get a little bit of a rate cut in May. Of course, I show you these things from the Fed, but they don't directly affect us.
Right.
But we have to watch those because that's what the news is reporting on.
That's what the consumer hears.
That's what the consumer
Well, that's
gets.
why we posted the last time they dropped it, not because of the rates, but we're like trying to get like the, hey,
Mhm.
retention, like they did it. That's why we posted it.
Absolutely.
Because we're like, if they're seeing that, they're like, okay, what does that mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I could talk to my clients on blue in the face, they're gonna listen to me, but they hear
Yeah.
the news say it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
You're exactly correct. Okay, so Rate Watch, Denise Donahue, for some reason, has not posted rates this week, and I don't know what's up.
Maybe she has the flu. Everybody has the flu.
Everybody apparently Donnelly has the flu. So
Yes.
Kevin Russell's rates are in the 6.25 for a 30-year first-time home buyers, up to 6.619. Ryan's running at 7.1 on his 30-year fixed. But then he doesn't have that first-time home buyer thing that Kevin has, but that's the independent lender thing. The conventional 30-year fixed is 6.375. His is 7.11. So 6.5 to 7 is going to be where you're going to fall right now. I also wanted to remind you, I went to a broker meeting yesterday. There's several things that are coming. I don't know if you guys saw that we now have access in the upper right-hand corner of Matrix to Atlanta's MLS. So we are data sharing with Atlanta, Georgia, the 5th largest MLS in the country.
Why?
Hang on. So The reason that they're doing that is so that people, you can actually get on there and change over to their MLS and you can see all of Atlanta, all of Georgia. The goal was to give visibility to them and to us on what they're doing. Starting next week, we will have reciprocity
Reciprocity.
with Houston on Supra.
But why?
Stop.
I mean,
So we
Serious.
don't have access to MLS.
Not to MLS, but you will have Supra access to Houston
And that's it.
starting next week.
never got you to-
Waco has been added in.
Yeah.
There are more things coming that they haven't quite announced yet. And so they're working on quite a few things to congeal some of the bigger MLSs. And so there's some really cool stuff happening.
I would really like.
But I want to know why.
Well, because I think
Why are they doing it?
To save money.
Yeah.
To
So
save
are we
money.
headed towards the national?
I think
No.
that's
It'll
that's
never be-
something that
it can
will
never
never
be.
be around.
It can never be national at all.
there is already a statewide MLS.
There is.
Nobody uses it.
Nobody
so-
uses, yeah. Also want to remind you guys, I didn't put it in the slide presentation, but forewarn, they were hitting that really hard at the broker meeting yesterday, that a lot of the other brokers didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
So you guys are ahead of the curve. Please use that. If you're going out to meet somebody, find out who they are before you go. A lot of good reasons to use that. One of the president of Greater Fort Worth, I forgot his name, Paul, he said, if you get some kind of weird listing thing, look them up, see if it's the real person. Check against the tax records of who's going to own that property. Also, I have booked Sean Buck, who is the incoming president for next year. He's going to be joining us this summer to come in and talk to us, but he'll be the president of Greater Fort Worth in 2026. So he's going to come talk to us later this summer. Couple things. Business tip of the week: if you try to move forward but feel overwhelmed, take it one step at a time. Break down big goals into smaller, achievable objectives. Instead of worrying about what you think you should have accomplished each day, celebrate your small wins, such as making follow-up calls, finalizing your plan of action. If you've taken 100 Days to Greatness, or if you've taken Pathway to Mastery, you already know these things. Did you know the Census Bureau reports the median size of new homes started fell from 2,326. Oh, Maria said ADHD kicks in. Fell from 2,326 feet in Q3 of 21 to 2,158 in Q3 of 24. So 3 years, they've reduced the house price house size by about 10%. And I think we're all seeing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see lots of new builds that are so small.
yeah, a lot of 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's an attempt at like the affordable housing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it like in the 1950s, the average home size was like what, 1,200?
800.
Oh,
Yeah.
Before 1960, the average house size in America was 858 square feet. Single family rents. I thought this was interesting. Rents are up 4.4% from last year in December. Year over year, they're up 4.4%. Single family homes have experienced rent growth with prices up 4% in December on a year over year basis and 40% higher than 5 years ago from Zillow. As of December, single family rents were 20% higher than multifamily rents, which is the greatest disparity between these two subsets since Zillow began tracking the data in 2018. 44%. Okay, gains in home sales offer a hopeful sign for 2025. I am not going to read this. This will be in the Slack stuff that I send out. It's just, I thought it was pretty interesting. This is from Lawrence Yoon and Chief Economist at NAR. So I wanted you guys to see that. There's the cheat sheet again
okay.
for 5A, 5B. I think I want to quiz or query the MLS and say, why can't we just have a block in the MLS that says this is a 5A listing and a 5B listing? That would solve everything.
I mean, it is, but
I
it's still
don't, I think it would still be an
commission.
antitrust issue.
Yep. I think it's
Maybe
still-
so. Okay, Jimmy's up. Wins, mistakes, lessons, and shout-outs.
Yeehaw.
I'm done.
And I don't know.
What's that?
I said, Brian, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so wins, mistakes, lessons, shout outs. So I want to do a little targeted wins and targeted lessons for this combo. So it's January still, just barely. But I feel like it takes for me personally, it takes at least 3 weeks in January for me to like get like rev back up into like business, and like get things started. I feel like last week was the first week where I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back to my processes that we do. We have in our company, we have a scorecard and we have meeting structures and we have, our 90-day goals and we have all these things. But I kind of like Brian knows, I kind of canceled them for the first 2 weeks of January. I was like, we're not doing any of this stuff. We have forecasts and all this stuff. So I feel like it takes about that 2 to 3 weeks. But a lot of times what people do is they'll just never get started, or they'll start really hard and like really fast and furious in the first of January, and then they'll get burnt out by now. And so with that said, my conversation for today was biggest wins for a process or something new that you're like going to or wanting to start for your business only. So not real estate wins, not I got a awesome listing. Those are things to celebrate. We should celebrate those. Don't get me wrong. But what is a win that you have that you've done within your business, or you created a new sales pitch, or an email campaign, more social media, whatever that may be. What is some wins that you have within your business that you've done to help grow your business? And it's kind of round table, so everybody can shout out.
So I'll go. I kind of did this last year and then stopped, but decided that I'm going to just kind of take my year week by week. I was doing that in some ways, but just planning out Monday through Friday at this point.
Yeah.
And then with that, I've been able to essentially set goals much easier, like micro goals. So like last week, my goal was to just post social media every day. So Monday through Friday, that was the goal. And I did it. So this week, doing that again. And yeah, that's, personal and business. But, last year when I was doing that, when I was consistent with my social media, I got a lot of really good feedback. So re-implementing that and just making it to where I feel like not this big overarching thing. It's like really pulling it back and saying, okay, great. What did I do this week? What did I do this week? And how did that create a win? And in itself, just already, it's just been so much easier to manage.
Yeah.
So,
This made me think of this so good.
I was gonna say, and people online, if y'all want to chime in on the chat, we've got it pulled up, or you can just turn your mic off and you can come on and talk about your wins as well.
Yeah. That made me think of something, Danielle. So whenever you're starting a company, so this applies for everybody here. Whenever you have a smaller company, there's like a bunch of like systems and processes and things you can do, and like this is all of your options, right? As a company like a company you have. But whenever you're a smaller company, you can't do all of that. So whenever it's just you as a real estate agent, you can't do that. So you have to shrink what you can do, like your time and what you want to do, and prioritize all that. So prioritize, yes, you get that. You're like, okay, cool, Jimmy. But a cool system that small businesses use is called 2-week sprints. And essentially, it's kind of what you're saying, Danielle. The business has a year goal, right? You have some year goals, like how many deals you want to close, revenue, that type of things, like how many emails you want to send out, whatever. Have some year goals. But you just only focus on 2 weeks. And you say, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do X. And that's it. And that's the only thing that you focus on. So you have usually 5 things or less that you're going to focus on for 2 weeks. Sometimes you can get up to 10 if you're like a crazy and you want to do all this stuff. But I'm going to post this many posts. I'm going to call this many people. I'm going to do this many open house. And I'm going to do this and this. You have 5 or less, and that's all you do for 2 weeks. You don't focus on anything else. And usually those 5 things will take up 20 hours or less a week, because you need the other 20 hours to actually do business when it comes in, work. But that's a really good system to implement. So Daniel, very similar to what you're saying. if you're kind of like, I just don't like, I don't want to break it down by year, I don't want to break it down by quarter, I don't want to break it down by month. Like really small businesses, that's the most effective way to get traction. 2 weeks, 5 things or less, and that's all you focus on. That is it. It's like they call it 2 week sprints. You can do that up to a team of 5 and crush it. Like absolutely crush it. Like I do some business consulting on the side, and I took like a really small business of 3 people, and like they tripled their revenue and quadrupled their revenue in 6 months. It was just because it was focused on revenue and stuff. It's just that system right there. It just works so well. Anyways, feel to it. That's good. That's good, Danielle.
Well, the other thing I started doing was I tried a paper planner last year, and I used it, but it was too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
I literally started carrying around these millions of these that we have around the office.
Yeah.
And it has like my to-do list on it.
That's it.
And it's like, okay, great. So then when I scratch it off, I rip it off, and anything that didn't get done goes on the next page. And like it doesn't have to be
No.
It didn't have to be hard.
No.
So and it's like a good way to be like, oh, look at all the shit I did today when I'm laying
And I love
in
that
bed
you're
at 10.
the door beside it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I didn't do anything today.
Yeah.
Like,
I have some, the CMA thing really kicks my butt in gear, which so I'm super thankful that you redid that this year because I was like draft, like, oh, I don't want to do this, but it's been really good. And it's been
Good
consistent.
conversations?
Yes, I've actually had decent conversations. A lot of them are just like, hey, we're happy where we're at.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
you're our girl, like, and then, or we're deciding to do this to our house. And I'm like, well, don't forget to remember me when you decide to do those things. I can help you kind of walk through that stuff. Been good conversations. And then I feel like my goals have always been like bigger. Like for when I set my goals, I feel like this year we're very, like I set my quarterly goals and I feel like they're very, very achievable and they're good processes for me. Like the Google business was a huge thing for me. I wanted to get to have issues with it for a year. And, but I was telling Jimmy when I was meeting him about my business and I said, one of the biggest things is like you Google my name, like some things pop up, but I feel like people really do. I do that. I Google things, companies and compare. So being more consistent with my reviews and Google being the second one. And then in return, doing the Rate My Agent, because that will syndicate to most. Okay, well, I do, but I don't have Google set up. It's supposed to syndicate to Google.
I didn't know that.
Well, to Realtor for sure. I don't know about Zillow. I don't think
They do, but I think you have to pay that $33 a month for it.
But anyways, so Google was my first one, then Rate My Agent, and being consistent with getting my reviews. And then the email campaign was another one, because we've been talking about that, but this will just be an extra level that we don't do consistently already that I know I want to do. And then I think that was it, like for the first quarter. I think those are very achievable, and I've never done that before. Like they're always bigger. And then the other thing is, and I think with the CMA challenge, it kind of helped, was just being more bold with my follow-up, which, I mean, I'm confident in myself, but I'm not like in your face. Like, I don't want to ever come across that way. I don't like that when people do that to me as a salesperson. But I have been a little bit more bold in my like vernacular, like what I'm saying to them. And I think that it's given me more confidence.
Mm-hmm. It's a good win.
It's a good one, because you're really good at what you do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt for you to tell people, it's not bragging.
Yeah.
That you are.
When you tell them, I can help you with these things.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is pick up the phone.
Yeah.
But them knowing that you are there and you sending them something out of the blue, I don't know, I'm getting more, personally, from the CMA challenge, I'm getting a lot of comments through text going, hey, thanks, that's awesome,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then a week later, I follow up and they go, no questions, but thanks for the info.
That's what I've gotten a lot too.
I think that just shows that you're their friend. You are concerned about these people.
And I think the fact that you took the stand of being like, hey, if you need to protest your taxes, this may be a good indication. So you're becoming, I mean, it's now, the relationship transformed into something else. Well, I guess my win for this week is, it was a big thing for me when I left a corporate brokerage. Is I did a lot of agent to agent referrals. And so obviously I've built a lot of relationships over the years with agents here, there, and everywhere. and sort of kind of got like, when I came here, I'm like, well, I don't want to reach out to those people anymore because they'll do it within inside their network or whatever. Because I mean, there's some months at EXP that I could walk away with 10 grand just sending referrals across the country. And so it was like, okay, cool. And so kind of was like, oh, I really love I love the agent to agent referral business because those clients come to you, they're educated, they already have a trusted real estate professional. It makes it very easy if things get sideways because they've got a person that kind of checks in and says, hey, hey, hey. And so I really, always enjoyed it. And so yesterday I went and got Valentine cards and I was like, hope I'm still your Valentine. I need a referral agent to be able to and send it out. So 7 yesterday and I've got 7 more to write. But I mean, I've always like right now I've got like 3 deals. I've got a couple of listings going on in Amarillo, and then they're sending people down here. I just started one in Houston yesterday. I'm working with a KW agent, a luxury agent. Yeah. An agent out of San Antonio and Austin that's going to put on, and then those people are going to buy here. So those agent business referrals are really valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other online people have some
Yeah, Ashley,
business
Angela?
wins?
Sorry if I sound horrible. I got whatever's going on right now going around. But I was going to piggyback off of the referral thing. The more so a win I've had over the past few weeks is referring within my sphere, not even like real estate, but finding people that are in my sphere to connect them with like if my friend needed a photographer, and I just sent them, so hey, they're looking for one, so hope this helps, or for somebody in construction financing. It's just ways to find to connect people within my sphere that has something to do with the transaction that I have going on. And I think that that being intentional that way, maybe that comes back down the road. But even if not, it's just nice to kind of have to be that go-to person. So I think that's a personal win that I've seen recently in my business.
It's great, Andrew.
Being the connector, man.
Huge.
You always have, the 1 or 2 people in your life who are like, I bet this person knows the person. I bet they have that's cool. It's good. Any other wins, business wins, guys?
I hired a virtual assistant. They're running my social media.
Oh, cool.
So I am investing a lot, a set amount of money over the year.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm putting it all towards. So basically I put all my money in one place.
Yeah.
But it has been very successful. They already built my website. They made me a link tree. They run my social media. They answer people that go on and do stuff. It's a guy in the Philippines, and it has been an amazing experience. I got through a referral of somebody else that's using a virtual assistant, and so far so good. I had somebody text me yesterday and say, hey, I didn't want to wait for so-and-so to give me your email address, so I Googled you and found your website, found your phone number, and they texted me. I'm like, oh, good. One good thing has come up. So far so good. I'm really excited about that.
Angela, freaking good work, man.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Taking that leap of faith and investing, I think, wisely. I think if you're doing a virtual assistant, offshore, like I think 10, 20 years ago, that's kind of just a weird feeling. Like it just kind of felt weird, but now it's, as like technology has grown, like global networks has grown, and like being able to use different labor sources for different things. I mean, I think it's wise.
So is Linktree a huge, I've just never looked into it.
I like Linktree because it just puts all of your stuff on one page, so you can just send your Linktree, and if they want to go to Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat or your website, it's all right there on one page. That's what it is. And I like Linktree because different people use different stuff. Like if I send someone your age my stuff, you're going to go to Instagram. If I send somebody your age my stuff, you're going to go to Facebook.
And Jeez.
True story. Kids, you're going to be on Facebook.
I'm on
more.
Instagram.
Yeah, but you're not on it as much. So I think that matters for me because I have different like levels of clientele.
That's right. That is off.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's free. You can design it, make it personalized.
I just never thought about it. It's just another thing, and I don't like
So it also goes on each one of my profiles and they
Right.
can just click Linktree and then it goes straight to my website. But also I could put something like, I want to put my favorite song on there, or I want to put a suggestion for other websites
Like
on
MySpace.
there.
I know, I
It's
mean,
kind of-
sorry.
But actually, it's really cool. A lot of people have link trees if they have multiple like
Yes.
businesses, like for Danielle, if she wants to put her clothing business and her whatever health business and her real estate all on the same thing. I was gonna say
So-
Fargo and I couldn't remember the name.
I'll rein this back in. Linktree is awesome. Yes, we saw use it. But what I do think is interesting. Most people aren't good at social media, right? They can be good at it if they want to be, but who wants to be like take the time to do it, develop the content? It takes a lot of work. There are people in our organization and our agents that are really good at it. And but for me, I'm not. I hate it. I like hate it, not like a little bit, but like for the passion. And so guess where I spend as an owner, spend a lot of money on marketing. I spend on marketing because I'm not good at it. You know where I spend $0 is sales. I like to do sales. I'm really good at that. I spend $0 on hiring a lawyer. Well, I don't like reading contracts. I'm good at it. I spend $0 on the things that I'm good at and that I can just crush. And I spend all of my money on something else in my business that my business needs, but that I hate or that I'm good at. And so that's what, I'm not saying you're bad at it.
No,
But
yeah,
there might be
no.
something that you're like, oh, I just can never seem to get.
I won't ever do it.
You're being
Exactly.
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's a big win. So that's cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna shift a little bit from a win, and this is not to be a downer. This is, so whenever you admit a mistake or you admit like you just, man, I just didn't do it. There's a freedom there. That's the whole idea of literally confessing to a priest, right? You go to the confession booth so you can unburden yourself, confess. So this is not a confession, but this is, so please don't do that. Yeah, no personal.
Jimmy, are you going there? We're gonna close
No,
the
no,
door.
no
Yeah,
personal.
yeah.
No,
Jimmy's gonna be on the other side of the bar.
Yes,
I can't see you.
yes.
I'm gonna give you a shot. Cleanse yourself. But whenever you make a mistake or you go, man, I was planning on doing X and I didn't, or I was planning on doing this month and I didn't. I really need to do this and it's just really tough. So where in your business have you failed? Have you forgotten? Have you made a mistake where you just can't seem to get it right? And come here, say, hey, this is tough for me. Admit it and seek encouragement. We'll encourage you, right? It unburdens you. And then it allows you to kind of like move forward with a fresh slate. So where in your business you feel like, man, just missed the mark here. You know what? This is how I'm going to fix it.
Like micro or macro?
Micro. I don't want to, I wanted to close 5 deals in January and I only closed 3. I don't want to hear that. I mean,
Yeah.
That's cool, but what's something that you can share that will actually help someone else?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna do the CMA challenge and then we were out of town for the first week and I woke up and I was like, oh, I didn't do any of this. And then I
You
just
can start it now.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Then I just continued to give myself the excuse of, oh, well, I didn't start it when I was supposed to, so now I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
And so that was one of my things that I wrote down today was like a DIY CMA challenge. So
Very
just
cool.
because the group is not doing it doesn't mean that I still cannot. And yeah, it's an opportunity for me to still reach out to my.
Well, and we're probably not doing exactly what Brian does. Like, I'm probably doing a little different than what Tosh is doing, or whatever. Like, so I
Well,
was making
that's-
it your own.
Do you want to know my
So
favorite?
that's something for me is like, if I don't do it the way I'm supposed to do it,
Yeah.
when I'm supposed to do it, all the way, then I'm not gonna do it. And if anybody else would.
I mean, this is probably more of a chick thing because I don't think y'all would enjoy it. But there's a podcast. It's called the Humbly Hustle,
Yeah.
Hustle Humbly, and it's 2 agents out of Baton Rouge, and they work for different brokerages. And I encourage you to go. Sometimes when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll listen to a podcast or whatever, at random, just to have something to do because my ADD will kick in. I'm bored.
You know, ADD. Anyway, go ahead, sorry.
Trust me, it takes a team of people to keep me in line. And Angela's like, your brother books your plot, your airline tickets. And I was like, yeah.
All right, ADD.
Anyways, but this, ultimately, is this, there's a good episode that I can send to y'all where these agents talk about like being moms, being multitasking, and like not getting down on yourself about, it's like the CMA challenge. Just start it today. Start it next week. Like, it doesn't matter if it runs through.
Yeah.
Anyone else not done the CMA that wants
Me,
to?
so I also told myself I was going to do it and I did not do it. And I'm going to still do it. I have to go to Mexico next week and then. Well, you just gotta go, even though you did it. I made a mistake and I'm gonna catch up.
Oh,
in
no.
February.
I bet y'all
can work
stay
on it.
tuned for the content from Mexico.
We're holding
You
a
stay
real
tuned with
summer
us.
retreat.
The rest of us go on vacation without y'all.
Y'all got it away.
Well, for online peeps, you know, we might do a February, you know, impromptu, CMA challenge. So that might be, and Angela and Danielle, y'all can kind of
Yeah,
keep us up to date on that.
I'm gonna do that.
I like it. What else? What else, guys? What else is, man, I didn't do this. I need to do this. This is a really,
I didn't update my WeChat. I don't have a CRM. Is this therapy?
yeah, I love it.
Okay, because I am a little bit ADD and I'm not medicated and I never have been medicated, so don't ask.
What are you talking about?
I am not, I do not have a CRM and if Tanner's not here, he can't yell at me, so I guess I just don't,
Yeah,
but I need to do that. So, my goal is, since you're gonna like help us
You do
in
have-
March, is to get my CRM fixed before March comes.
You have reached out. That
I
is the
haven't, I
serious-
just don't have my crap in
You
it.
didn't utilize it.
I don't, I
Hey.
don't have my people in.
hey, well, that's all right.
Okay.
And guess what? I'm telling you, whenever you share those 600 people in the same way.
Okay.
And
Maybe,
so,
you know.
so it's like, I mean, you're not a failure. You're not, it's just blocking off the time.
Yeah.
2 week sprints, that becomes one of your 5 things. And it just, I'm probably gonna take
Okay.
4 to 6 hours.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, that's why it's the biggest pain in the butt. It's like,
Yeah.
there's not really an efficient way of getting it in. Maybe Brian would actually.
I would think I mean, when I came here to fix app, I took my CSV file.
Yeah, but you had to create that.
Well, because it's already.
thank you.
No, because I had it in an Excel spreadsheet. That's how I.
That's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying. We don't have that.
No, it's here on.
You know what? It sounds really scary, but
It sounds really silly. You can like remind yourself, but one thing that like I have implemented like in the last couple of months that helps my brain is I just do little post notes like on my mirror in the morning.
Yeah.
That are like enter 5 contacts. Like the other morning, because Holly knows on Monday mornings, I'm like all business. Like I sit down on my computer. And so like my challenge for myself starting is like to put 3 to 5 contacts in my CRM a week.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, because if I don't, I mean, I'm probably too old, but old school, like I can run a lot of stuff on my phone, but I like visual aid is so much better
Yeah.
for me. Like if I see something and I'm so excited that. So like if I put sticky notes on my mirror,
You'll do it.
I'll do it.
I was a teacher, so sticky notes, like when you're checking off the list, I write them on sticky notes and then I'm like, yes, I can completely throw it in the trash. So I do like sticky notes, but I don't write them on my mirror. I should do that.
Mhm.
I like that. Visuals are something that's really important to send one of for me. I can't have it in my phone.
That's a goal of mine is I have a little leather book in my backpack that I write down when I get a lead. I'm like, oh, okay. Or if somebody texts me and says, hey Tasha, I'm so and so is going to send me a referral. Sometimes I don't hear from other people, but I write the person that like sent me the text, and I need to be better about being like, hey Dave, you said so and so is going to call me, whatever. I'm not good about that. But that's what I was saying. Like, I need to put a whiteboard in front of my desk to write down like what category of where they come from.
Yeah.
Because if you look at my little leather binder, it's like pages of like talking about this, talking about that.
I will say, with on something on that, and maybe this is good for people to hear. Her brother is really good about this. Like when we were first dated him, he used to not do this. Just started this a little bit ago, but he's like, "Hey, if you'll start like a soft text between the group, like the 3 of us or whatever."
I have one.
He said it's just a little softer approach. We're all on it. It's kind of like a little, hey, here's so and so's number, here's Ryan's contact info, contact him for whatever. I told her I'm gonna start doing that with people that get referred to me, asking the person that referred it to me, and like, hey, can you do this soft little intro? And that way on there and we can all kind of touch base. So I think that's what I'm gonna start doing too.
All right, so we got a few things. Got CMA challenge. We got CRM. That's a big one. It's a big lift. What else? What are some other things that you wanted to do in your business you couldn't get to? You wish you would have. Your business needs, but you maybe don't know how.
I'll tell you one
Well,
thing.
let's see anybody line first.
Sorry.
Yeah, just really quick. I wanted to make sure.
Did you see Jim's?
I did have to.
Okay, deal.
Anybody online want to share or have anything?
Well, mistakes I do have. I have been, thank God, busy, and I know I have failed to, like, almost weekly send an update to either a seller or a buyer, and then I get a message from them just following up on what we our last conversation. So I was like, ugh, I should have sent that text before they sent me a text. So that is one of my things to improve on. And yeah, it's been a little busy.
Yeah.
Excuse, but yeah.
So how do you improve that, Maria? How's that? That's a tough one. That's really tough.
So I know that Brian and Tasha do like a Monday, just a reply or just a message, nothing has changed from the previous week, or, this happened and that's it, and then wait for the response. So I did actually start doing that this week. It's almost like a daily reminder that I have on my task on my calendar, just to send a friendly text on Monday.
It's my opinion that if you are proactive with your clients, your listings, your buyers, if you are in front of them, then they think that you care more than you actually do. I'm not saying you don't care about them, but if you are making a call, if you're sending a text on Friday to all of your listings and saying, hey, here's what happened this week. I'm watching the numbers. I've got my Google Docs that I'm running. I've showed you guys how I'm doing that. So I've backed that off to every 2 weeks, because I think that that's enough. Every 2 weeks to reach out to a seller every other Friday is completely fine. However, if you will get out of their brain on Friday and tell them exactly what's going to happen, you'll get all of that work done Friday morning, Friday afternoon, then you don't have to deal with it over the weekend. When you talk to them again on Monday, 3 days later, hey, here's what happened over the weekend, here's what I'm expecting this week, you are hitting them twice a week, exactly 3 and 4 days apart. You are being proactive and intentional about your care for them. It's part of that contact care and community system that Brian Buffini always talks about. Doing that twice a week, you will take all of the anxiety out of your sellers. And when you have something to say to them, they will respond to you because you have been proactive with them.
Great advice.
Yep.
Great advice. Maria, that's thanks for sharing that. I think that's really helpful. That brought up that. That's super helpful.
It is, and I will start implementing, the anxiety kicks in after I get their message because I did not give them
An update.
Yes, an update.
That's right, man. We've all been there before, and I feel like I'm there once every few weeks sometimes. Yeah, no, thanks for sharing. That's good. That's good. Hey, get it out of your system. It's not what your business is supposed to be, and so you're going to change it, and that's good. And if you fail, it's okay, and then you move forward and you keep on doing that stuff. That's good stuff, Maria. Anybody else online? Really quick, sorry. I just wanted to give it to you.
No.
All right, you got the green light.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Maria, set up those, is it list track?
Yes. Yeah.
So the list track at least have emails them every Monday morning, and I feel like you've done something.
And you don't have to
anytime
worry
wanted
about
to
it.
do
Yeah, I do my Mondays like at 5 o'clock.
It was super.
They get them
easy.
like right after they get off of work on Monday, they get something in print from me. They don't know it's auto generated and all that. And then I feel like even if I don't check in, it's like, well, something went in your inbox that educated you.
Great.
No, I was just gonna say before is another thing. I was listening to this podcast about like, you know, you hear different agents in the office and you hear, you know, how they implement their business and do and all that. And one of the people I know like is a killer, Kim Gardner, you know, at Remax. She is a killer at open houses. Like Kim could walk into an open house and walk out with 3 buyers, even if nobody showed up. And that was something that like I always was like, I mean, probably even hard on Polly about it. I'm like open houses, and I do open houses to like appease sellers, right? So they see me proactively doing something that they feel is valuable. But for me, I'm just telling you that is not in my wheelhouse. I don't really convert leads from open houses. It's just not a Tasha thing. It's not how I connect or break bread with people. And so like after this podcast, they're like, you don't have to do everything that the other agents in the office are doing. So I would say, I would encourage you to like figure out how you connect and do business with people and then really work on that instead of trying to be like, well, let me do open houses. Well, let me do this. Well, let me do mail outs. Well, let me do this. Because for me, mine is just being out amongst people and like, I'm very big, like on the weekends, you don't feel like you're working, but like a lot of my connecting with people is like on the weekends, like I do wear key dogs. I'm like, well, we're going to dinner with so-and-so on Friday night. And then on Saturday afternoon, we're going to meet somebody to do this. But that's how I connect with people. And that's how I build business and rapport with people. So I would say like figure out how you connect with people and then really deep dive into that instead of trying to do everything.
Great advice. Great advice. Hey, the other part.
Angela, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to piggyback to what Tasha said and also what Tanner said last week. It just really resonated with me because as a new agent, I feel like I want to do everything all the time now, and forever. But I just really took it to heart what Tanner said. Do what's authentic to you. So, I'm there in soul searching what I love to do because it's not hard for me to be authentic. But in the real estate world, I still haven't found my footing, so to speak. Because I suffer from imposter syndrome. I'm going to have to get over that. I will not know everything all the time. But I'm in a great brokerage, so all I have to do is slack every information I don't know. So yeah, so I'm just taking it all in, listening to what everybody is saying. But at the end of it all, I think I just really have to make a decision what I thrive in and just be confident in sharing that with others. So
Hey, that's good. That's good. Thanks for sharing, Angela. That's good to admit, and it's good to see. And I completely agree with you. Yeah, find your way, and then pay for the rest. When and if you get money. So I think it's really, really good, Angela. Well, hey guys, we're a little bit longer, so that'll wrap up today. Thanks for sharing. Again, wins and updates and stuff is to celebrate each other, but you learn a lot through sharing failures and sharing things and it allows you to unburden that. That's like it's a little bit of counseling or whatever, Angela. So therapy. So do a little free session once a month. So, all right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys sharing and participating. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yep. Bye, guys online. See you later. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate you in the rain.
Yeah. I knew they had something to share. Feel it online.